Open your mind.
Big change could be coming to how you prove who you are. Utah State is considering rolling out a digital ID to help prove who you are in your online dealings. But with data breaches on the rise, Jim Spiewak asked if this can be a game changer for your online safety and security.
Everyone is born with identity.
You control your identity. You should control your digital identity.
Christopher Bramwell, Utah's chief privacy officer, is leading the state's effort to create a state-endorsed digital identity system which would provide residents with a verified digital credential proving they are who they say they are.
So someone being able to pretend that they're me probably wouldn't happen.
The whole point of state-endorsed digital identity is to give you control of your identity so nobody can impersonate you.
Bramwell sees initial uses for digital identity for things like going through TSA or verifying identity for government services. But he also says demand is growing in the private sector.
Why wouldn't you just use an identity you control to log into services and you don't have to worry about reset passwords?
Bramwell says once you receive your credential, the state won't know when you use it and it won't be tracked, but it would be stored securely in something like a digital wallet.
What do we tell people about why this will be secure?
The security is our top priority, but most importantly, how do you recover when there's a security breach without having to do reissuance of identity to everybody in the state?
Utah lawmakers passed Senate Bill 260 this year, which laid the baseline policy that gives individuals the right to digital identity, but not a mandate to opt in.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. Hope everybody's doing good out there. The rainy weather continues here in Oklahoma. So I'm continually shooting videos indoors, not to mention it gets dark here early and we haven't even rolled back the time yet. So it's much easier to just do this indoors than try to fight all the elements outside. You know, of course, we're not getting it nearly as bad as Jamaica right now. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the Category 5 hurricane rolling through there. Keep those people in your prayers. It sounds like they're really in for a change. It sounds like their whole world is going to be turned upside down. So like I said, keep those people in your prayers. You know, I've been talking about digital IDs, digital currency for years now, but especially the last several months because I can just kind of see everything lining up. And then I read an article and watched a few videos about now Utah is trying to push a state-approved digital ID. And right now it doesn't seem that it's mandatory, but you know, you get enough people on board, you make it seem like a good thing, you know, it's going to protect your privacy. No longer do you got to go to the store or a nightclub or anywhere and have to show your ID with all your personal information, your address and things like that. It's all just right there at the flick of a hand, a flick of a finger. Makes it seem so much more convenient. And, you know, they want you to believe that it's for your own safety, is to protect your identity, all your online information. I honestly don't think it's going to be better. I think if anything, it's going to be worse. You know, and a while back, they've been pushing this real ID thing. It's basically a federal ID all over. And then a while back here in Oklahoma, they want to make it seem mandatory. And a lot of people, I can't tell you the amount of arguments I've gotten in with people thinking that real ID is a necessity to fly in things. It's not. You can still use a passport, and I think there's several other forms of identification you can use to get on a plane. So it's not mandatory to do so. But the way they paint this picture, the way they make everybody believe is it's something you have to have. And with all of that, it's basically just to get people to sign on. It's get people to think that, oh, well, it's mandatory. It's something I need. It's something that's going to help me. And so they sign up, and then there you go. Millions and millions upon people sign up for it. And I would only assume that they're going to do the same thing in Utah now, pushing this state-approved digital ID. And this is just the beginning of it. As far as I know, this is the first state in the United States to really roll out something like this. And from what I understand, Utah's been doing this for quite some time, but now it's a state-approved thing. So it kind of makes me scratch my head and kind of makes me wonder is this going to be something that we're going to try to implement on state level, because everybody's almost up in arms, and there's a lot of people that don't believe that it's a good thing, and that's awesome. But I honestly feel like if we break it down at a state level, make people think it's something they need and something that, is going to help them, it's probably a lot easier to get people to sign up for it. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is not for your safety. It's not to help you. It's not to protect your online information. It is to control you and to control me. If you look at places like China, the homeless population there has exploded since they've implemented things like that there with social credit scores and stuff. It's pretty much blackballed people out of being able to live. It's made them unable to work, unable to buy things. So they're forced merely to live on the street and be homeless. And only, they paint it as this great thing and it's here to help you. But I'm here to tell you guys, it is not. This is the beginning rollout of the beast system. And whether it be real ID, digital currency, whatever it is, we all need to band together and fight this as much as we possibly can. I'm not signing up for that crap. I don't have a real ID. I know several people that do. And the majority of them feel like I said, that it's something that was mandatory that they had to have to go into federal buildings or to fly on a plane. And it's not. That's just what they want you to believe. We have to fight this at every corner. If we all band together and say, no, we don't want this. We don't want this corrupt system. We don't want to end up like places like China or the UK. Maybe we stand a chance at fighting all of this. But if we don't band together and we just lay down on this and just sign up for all these things now while they're not mandatory, eventually enough people are going to be signed up. They're going to make it mandatory because over half the people have already done it anyway. So they're not going to care about the rest. And once this is all implemented, once everything you have is digital, your currency, everything, your identification, it's only a matter of time before it moves into things like credit scores like China has. I would go as far as to say we're not far from there right now. And the way the world is shaping up, they want us to turn our neighbors in. You're supposed to love your neighbor. You're supposed to help your neighbors, not turn them in for things that is socially not acceptable where they live. We're supposed to band together and fight this. So I'm asking all of you, we have to stand against this. And these things are just now starting to roll out. And like I said, they're not mandatory, but eventually they're going to be. Eventually, they're going to lock you and me out of society, and the only way that you'll be able to work or buy anything is to have it. Doesn't that sound really familiar to you? And I know a lot of people that watch my channel already think a lot of the same ways that I do with all of this. This is just the growing pains of the beast system. You guys, we have to fight this. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's where community comes in. That's where loving your neighbor as yourself, that's where helping each other out and lifting each other up comes in. If we can't help each other, it's a lost cause. From here, there's no way we can win. But if we all band together, we all help each other, and we all prepare for the inevitable of what's coming, I think eventually it won't matter, but at least in the beginning, we can fight this thing and hopefully create some type of community, some type of alternative to this beast system that they're creating. It comes down to, are you a believer? Do you believe the truth? The truth, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, that's the truth. And you can prepare all you want. I encourage people to prepare, but without him, without our Savior, without the Lord above, we are nothing. And the good book explains all of this, and I encourage people to read it. We are in end times. Now, I don't think we're so far into it that they're going to be lopping people's heads off here in the United States yet, but we're not far from it, people. We are not far from it. It happens in other countries. Why would we be so ignorant to think that it would not happen here? So there again, I ask all of you, please pray for this country, pray for this world, pray for each other and help each other and lift each other up and fight this at every cost. God bless y'all and your families. I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.